It's Koku who's done virtually every job in the team bar keeping goal. Philippe Koku. It's saved by Taffarel. Togetherness. Praying. Eyes closed. Some will look. Dunga's got to keep looking. But he does it. They're almost there, Brazil. And Ronald de Boer has to score. Well, he's a cool customer. He needs all that calmness now. And that's it! Taffarel has saved 2 penalties in the semi-final shootout. And Brazil are in the final of France 98. The holders have ended Holland's splendid run, the match decided by the narrowest of margins. And Brazil now have the chance to win the World Cup for a 5th time against either France or Croatia.
France have lost just once on French soil since November '93. That was to England. To abandon most of their defensive frailties here. They're level! They've come straight back into it and drawn level. It's Lilian Thuram. It's his first goal for France. And what a time after 68 years of waiting.
Shuka. Yanni is galloping down the left, and it's a fine ball to pick him out. Robert Yanni has got stabbed to beat. He's all on his own, but we have seen him shoot from here in the past. It's a good ball across. Prosinecki, 1-0. Well, immediately the return of Robert Prosinecki has an impact on the match. Played across, there was still plenty for him to do to there. He turned away from Newman, a class finish, a very talented player. Zenden. Away from Yanni, good play from Goodwin Zenden. Still going all the way, Zenden. Good shot! Oh, yes! It's gone in, the goalkeeper managed to get a hand to the ball, but he couldn't stop him from going into the back of the net. Prosinecki. Oh, that's a great ball for Prosinecki. Asanovic going through. Shuka's free on the left. Here's Boban. Shuka takes the shot. Oh, he's done it! 6 of the very best for Double Shuka. And that one there, as good as any of the previous 5. Asanovic and Boban played their part, but Shuka did the rest. Well, there are so few fairy tales in the hard professional world of football, but this certainly is one of them. Croatia have taken 3rd place at France 98 at their very first attempt. Well, has Double Shuka got enough goals? We shall see with just 1 match remaining at France 98.
Of 64 games over the next 4.5 weeks. And Brazil are off on the right note. And Collins makes it 1-1. It could be an own goal. The ball's gone in. A very untidy goal, but Cafu made it all happen.
Haji scores! It's a beauty!
Every journalist in the stadium has his pen poised to write about this. Roberto Baggio, can he make it? He can indeed!
First red card of the World Cup.
It is a perfect start for France. Are they really the hosts with the most? And just look at this, on Fair Play Day they will pose together with arms around each other. This is sport as a unifying force.
Oh! Zidane has been sent off.
Christian Vieri The boy who grew up in Sydney is in line for the Golden Boot if he carries on like this. That is the golden goal that goes down into World Cup history. First time it's ever happened in the finals.
And it's saved. Argentina go through. England lose on penalties. Oh, he's hit the bar. France are through. They've knocked out Italy.
Brazil back on into the semi-finals at France 98.
Dennis Bergkamp has won the day so splendidly for Holland.
Schuka's through. The Germans have been defeated. Croatia go to the World Cup semi-finals.
And that's it. Brazil are in the final of France 98.
It's all over! France go to their first World Cup final!
So France and Brazil were set for a showpiece final. But before the match could kick off, an off-field drama that would leave a deep mark on the fortunes of the defending world champions. On the afternoon of the final, Brazilian superstar Ronaldo fell ill. Seriously ill, it turned out, and Brazil went into a coma. Ronaldo suffered a seizure in the team's hotel, the cause of which still defies explanation from the doctors entrusted with his care. Stress, a reaction to painkillers, and pressure from sponsors were among the multitude of cited causes. But even more disturbing than Ronaldo's ill health was Brazil's reaction. Teammates were shaken enough by the sight of the star player being taken to a medical clinic pre-game. Worse followed when the coaches, officials and doctors panicked. After trying to cover up the problem, Brazil named its team for the World Cup final without the sick Ronaldo. But within minutes of the news being told to an astonished world, a new team was named. This time, Ronaldo was included. The hours of collective tension sapped Brazil's energy and resolve. It was to have a huge impact on Brazil's performance in the final.
The 16th World Cup final, the last of the 20th century. Unique in footballing history, with the hosts facing the holders for football's biggest prize. The Brazilian team doctors gave Ronaldo clearance to play only 45 minutes before kickoff when he arrived at the stadium after the rest of the Brazilian team. An African referee in a World Cup final is another first today. Said Belkola from Morocco, by trade a customs official, so he has to be eagle-eyed in more ways than one. Good luck to him and his assistants, Mark Warren from England and South Africa's Ashmat. Oh, and it's come for Manu Pati! Another chance. Givash, particularly a player of his predatory reputation, would be maybe expected to score. Here we are in stoppage time. This was the route for the one goal that France have got. Right-sided corner. Dunga. Two of the little triangles that they work so well in midfield starting to appear now. And the yellow card starting to mount for France. This is a booking for Caramber. Roberto Carlos having his run blocked off again cleverly. Lambert misses it. Ronaldo! Well, maybe a pivotal moment in this second half. A fantastic save by Fabien Barthez, who had no right to hold it. To stop it was superb enough. Short corner to Danielson again. But he certainly does look their main route back into the match, but there won't be any of those avenues to explore if France can get another goal. Well, there's a problem here for Desailly. He was late, and having been booked earlier, he gets a second yellow card, and France are down to 10 men. It's extraordinary, this. They've had Zidane sent off earlier in the competition, Laurent Blanc in the semi-final, and Desailly feared the worst when he spun round. Brazil still striving. Dugarry. Oh, Petit going through the middle. And it's Manu Petit! Well, they finish it in the grandest of manners. In stoppage time, it's 3-0 to France. From the president downwards, a nation celebrates. Patrick Vieira rolled it into the path of his club colleague at Arsenal, Manu Petit, and he just rolled it beyond Taffarel to make sure that France have won the 1998 World Cup. But it has been a team effort for Aimé Jacquet. He was so criticised. He's gone from criticised coach to national hero. Quite fantastic. Brazil beat in the Stade de France, well and truly beaten. He's not the biggest, Didier Deschamps, so they put him up on the podium. France have their hands on the World Cup for the first time, and congratulations to them.
And with the lifting of the trophy, the 16th World Championship of football was over. Even though for the French, the party was just beginning. The country and its capital was soon awash with national celebrations never yet seen in France. Within hours, 1.5 million crammed the Champs-Élysées, the biggest crowd ever on the avenue, bigger than that which welcomed Charles de Gaulle's victorious re-entry at the end of the Second World War. The next day, when the new world champions were paraded in an open bus, another 750,000 were there to meet them. Above all, the 1998 World Cup was to be remembered as a French triumph and a piece of long overdue justice for a country which has done so much for the world game. There were memories of Frenchmen like Jules Rimet, who founded the notion of a World Cup at a time when the only true international football tournament was at the Olympic Games, of Gabriel Hanot, who inspired the European Champions Cup, now the sport's biggest money spinner, and another compatriot, Henri Delaunay, who spawned the European Nations Championship, and of Fernand Sast, the tireless and passionate head of the France 98 organising committee, who tragically died during the tournament and never lived to see his country's victory. The last World Cup of the millennium was a World Cup of transition and profound change, symbolised by the election of a new FIFA president on the eve of the tournament. The Sepp Blatter mission to enhance the game's image and protect the skillful, entertaining players led to the hasty, almost chaotic drive to outlaw the tackle from behind. It was the first World Cup to utilise the golden goal, a dramatic winner in extra time by Laurent Blanc, steering France into the quarterfinals. It was again a World Cup of heroes, the towering Paraguayan chieftain José Luis Chilavert, Davor Šuker, whose goals gave fledgling Croatia a dream run into third place, of Clarence Seedorf, abandoned and sent home from the last European Championship, now re-emerging as the hero of the Dutch, of the baby-faced Michael Owen, who with 2 dramatic goals conquered hearts and minds the world over, of Christian Vieri, who seemed to be nourished by pressure and could do no wrong when faced with a scoring opportunity, and the young men of Iran and the USA, who put their presidents and rulers to shame with their readiness to be friends and to keep rivalries to the sporting field. But above all, it was the World Cup of the French, and of a shy young man called Zinedine Zidane, born of African immigrant parents, a child of the Arab ghettos of Marseille. In an age when sport retains a greater than ever need to set an example and to be the face of human tolerance and unity, it was fitting that it should be he who steered France to its greatest sporting conquest. The World Cup had triumphed again.
Finish the game with a goal here. Messier, a third for Morocco.
It's all the way. Rigdal to take it, and he scored!
It's time to say goodbye. Quando sei lontana sogno all'orizzonte manca le parole.
It's 2-2.
Io sì lo so che sei con me.
That's it. They've done it, and it's Laurent Blanc who has won it for France. World Cup history is made.
Con me, con me, con me, con me. Time to say goodbye.
On the move again, he's got Paul Scholes to his right. He can put Scholes in, but he's going his own way. Michael Owen! Well, the boy wonder has produced a goal that will be shown over and over again in World Cup history. Wonderful free kick, goal from Zanetti. Saved. Argentina go through. England lose on penalties.
It's good night and thank you. Neville Schuker has done it.
Bergkamp. Brilliant control. Bergkamp. Here's Ronaldo, and they're going to score here. France have their hands on the World Cup for the first time, and congratulations to them.
Stay ahead of the World Game for the latest international